For a long time, a lot of us are waiting. Not consciously, not in a way we would admit out loud if someone asked, but underneath the surface of daily life, in the quiet space between where we are and where we want to be, there is a waiting. Waiting for the right mentor to appear and see our potential. Waiting for the opportunity that is built perfectly for us. Waiting for someone to extend a hand, open a door, or tell us, finally, convincingly, that we are ready, that we are worthy, that it is safe to go all in. Waiting for someone to come and make it easier. I have to tell you something today that might be the most liberating and the most terrifying thing you hear this month. Nobody is coming. There is no rescue. There is no perfectly timed intervention arriving just when you need it most. There is no version of this where the universe lines up the circumstances so beautifully that hard work stops being hard, and the risk stops being real, and the leap stops requiring courage. Nobody is coming to save you. And that is the best news you are ever going to hear. Welcome to Motivation Daily. This is March 25th, and today I want to hand you back something that has always been yours, the full weight and the full power of your own life. Here is why the absence of a rescuer is good news. Because as long as you believe one is coming, you outsource the most important thing. You hand the authorship of your life to a person or a circumstance that exists outside of you, that you cannot control, that may never arrive. You put yourself in a position of passive waiting in a situation that demands active building. And every day you spend in that waiting room is a day you are not spending becoming the person who doesn't need to be saved. The belief in a rescuer is seductive because it is comfortable. It means the outcome is not entirely your responsibility. If the mentor never showed up, if the opportunity never came, if no one ever believed in you enough to give you the platform, well, you can't be blamed for a life that was never fully yours to build. The waiting protects you from the most frightening question of all. What if I had everything I needed and I still didn't do it? That question is terrifying, and it is the only question worth asking. Because the truth, the one that changes everything when you actually let it land, is that you do have what you need. Not everything you will ever need, not the finished version of your capability or your resources or your network, but enough. Enough to take the next step, enough to start, enough to move from waiting to building, from hoping to doing, from the passive posture of someone expecting rescue to the active posture of someone who has decided they are the one.
Think about the most self-made people you know or admire. I do not mean the myth of self-made, the fiction that successful people built everything entirely alone with zero help from anyone. That is not what I mean, and it is not true of anyone. What I mean is the people who, at some fundamental level, stopped waiting for external conditions to be right and started creating internal conditions instead. The people who decided that if the door was not going to be open for them, they would build their own door. That if no one was going to hand them the opportunity, they would manufacture one. That if the mentor never appeared, they would become the student who taught themselves. Those people are not rare geniuses. They are ordinary people who made an extraordinary decision. The decision to take full, unqualified, no excuses ownership of their own outcomes. Ownership is the word I want you to sit with today. Not blame, ownership. There is a difference. Blame is backward looking. It assigns fault for what went wrong, distributes responsibility for the difficult circumstances, explains the gap between where you are and where you want to be. Ownership is forward looking. It says, regardless of how I got here, regardless of what was done to me or what I was denied or what the circumstances have been, what I do from this moment forward is entirely on me. That is a heavy thing to carry, and it is also the lightest you will ever feel. Because once you own it, truly own it, without caveat or condition, you are no longer at the mercy of anything outside yourself. The job that didn't work out cannot stop you. The person who didn't believe in you cannot stop you.
The circumstances that were never in your favor cannot stop you, because you have stopped giving those things the power to be the deciding factor. You have taken that power back. So today, I want you to do one thing. Find the place in your life where you have been waiting, consciously or not, for someone or something outside of you to make the move that you have been unable to make for yourself. The relationship that needs a conversation you have been hoping the other person would start. The career that needs a risk you have been hoping a mentor would make safe for you. The dream that needs a first step you have been hoping the right moment would finally provide. Stop waiting. Be the one who starts the conversation. Take the risk without the safety net. Make the first move without the guarantee. Nobody is coming to save you. You were never going to need saving. You just needed to remember that. Share this with someone who needs to stop waiting and start building. Subscribe to Motivation Daily. Nobody is coming to do this for you, but we will be here beside you every single day. Drop a comment and tell me, where have you been waiting for someone else to make the move? Name it, own it, and tell me what you're going to do about it today. See you tomorrow. Keep going.